Welcome back, my delinquents. The Shylily Clone Wars. I was going to talk about this, but leaving out the names, as I think giving more attention to this when it could be a stunt is a bad idea, but seeing it's already everywhere, we may as well just get into it, because the damage has been done, if that is the case. A small VTuber called smollola was apparently getting attention/harassment for her design resembling Shylily. Lola has been through this before almost every time they have had a model debut or event. I've seen them on my feed for mainly this reason. In the past, I think a grand total of 3 times. So I thought it's best to ignore it, as it is either engagement farming or better to not push it around more, as she will get more harassment for responding to the people pointing stuff out. But I think in the first 2 times I didn't see much harassment in her comments. But I can't comment fully. I did not take any screenshots. This is based on memory, this portion. Now more information has came out, and this has blown up to a point Lily themselves had to make a statement. It's best to outline what we know so far to give Lola the benefit of the doubt. But let's start where this began and go through timeline from the first instance with Lola to Shylily's response, because that is the end of the saga. But I want to make it clear, harassment is never okay. If you don't like her actions, that's fine. Express them and unfollow. Don't harass anyone, and I would appreciate not bringing this further into Shylily, seeing she doesn't want to really be involved. Just a note here, I will be using secondhand sources, as Lola has put her Twitter on private, so I can't access her tweets. I will mention when she goes on private, because she did not start this situation on private. It actually happens after an interview. Yes, she did an interview through this, which I will be showing some of the smollola. When I first saw smollola on my feed, she had under 500 followers at this time on Twitter, if I remember correctly. This is just to see why some people may perceive her as doing this for engagement. She was getting some flack, according to her, for similarities between her first model shown here and the similarity between her and Shylily. So let's look at these models. So I think this is her first model. Looks very similar to Shylily's swimsuit model, as you can see here. It has her fins and stuff still. She's purple like Shylily's. The top half is very, very similar. The main difference is she's a dolphin, she's an orca, and she has fishnets. Similar ears, difference, tail is up, etc. The swimsuit is very similar, and some of the designs are similar. Could be a coincidence, could just be inspiration. Here is some closer up of the outfit, where she has a similar little shrimp bow tail, and a shrimp bow tie here. I think this is around the time where, she makes her catchphrase "Wappa Wappa," which is very similar to Shylily's "Womp Womp." I could not find any proof at the time when this came up, and now that her tweets are blocked, I can't look further, of people actually harassing her. There was no one in the comments harassing her at the time that I could see. It was mainly smollola complaining about people making conclusions between the two. It didn't seem to get a lot of traction at the time, until fast forward her second model, live 2D debut teaser. I think it was based on a teaser or some sort of like outline what her new model was going to be, because this again happened just before her debut. Her model debut, as we can see here, on the left, is her model that she was debuting. But it only comes onto my feed, her debut teaser drama, when I see a post of her complaining about someone harassing her over it and calling her Shylily Clone. She's still under 1,000 Twitter followers at this time, but a lot of people pointed out it's rare to get a dedicated harasser when you are so small, under 1,000 followers, and even less on Twitch. Also, the similarities between how she types and that person. So smollola started tweeting a lot about people accusing her of harassing herself for clout. Over this, she gained a few thousand Twitter followers. It was never proven who it was or if it was Lola, but it seems to have randomly stopped at some point. A lot of people at the time pointed out she should ignore these people, as pointing it out makes it worse, that she should try to be more original with her designs. So this has been pointed out twice before, these same drama and these same problems, and a lot of people point out that she isn't getting more original, she's becoming more and more like Shylily. And from my memory, she does admit at this time to be inspired by Shylily, even though she seems to backtrack on that, like from she's inspired by Shylily. It has nothing to do with Shylily, so I'm not 100% sure, but her stance seems to constantly change. Fast forward to the third debut, because that second one seemed to end on a mostly positive for Lola, that she was getting harassed over nothing. Only a few people said her outfit looked a lot like Shylily's, though I don't think the full outfit was out. So fast forward to her third debut coming up in July. Lola makes a post about 3 DMs harassing her about about looking like Shylily in her design. Some say it was triggered about her trailer being similar to Shylily's again. At first she gained support and went up to 9k followers, but I couldn't find any harassment in the replies to the tweet. She did post a screenshot to the DMs. I don't remember if you could actually see what they said, but this whole saga seemed to have started from smollola bringing attention again to any harassment she was getting and talking about the similarities about her and Shylily, which she does not shy away from. She seems to constantly bring up the drama of people saying she looks like Shylily, which just fans the flame too. And she has been previously told multiple times to try and avoid doing that, because if someone is a troll just trolling you, it's going to make them do it more. So at first she gained support and went up to 9k followers on Twitter. So she gained a couple thousand followers in a day. But then people started pointing out the design similarities. As we can see here, there is quite a lot. The Hyagor little flick, even though it's slightly different than Shylily's tail, the glow-in-the-dark marks, the choker, the high cut top with same ribbon and straps based on a schoolgirl design, just slightly different. The frilly short skirt, which seems to even have the ripples in very similar places. It's high waist instead of low waist though. The off-the-shoulder schoolgirl outfit, because that's not actually how schoolgirl outfits go, even though Shylily's is half. The thigh straps, that's not uncommon in designs. They're both barefoot. They have almost very similar feet. I would say Lola's looks a little bit more stout than Shylily's. Ears are similar and stuff like that. And she is a dolphin cat hybrid, a catfin, and Lily is a orca. And their eyes in some poses look similar, looks different, but I would say generally their face shape and design, it looks very similar in some poses. And in the hair looks very similar too. In parts. Not including the fringe. But I would say this, that it's not one thing that makes it seem like a clone. Even the design in itself did not put her down as everyone calling her a clone. It's accumulation of all of these things, because there is more. But you can have a couple similarities with Shylily and it can be completely fine. But the problem is, like, when you add up these so many, it becomes very sus. And from an artistic point of view, it is very similar, especially when you go over the silhouettes as shown in the corner and some of the recolors of exactly how similar they are. So some people were pointing out logo designs are similar, her catchphrase was similar, and also this is when things really started to turn from Lola from positive to mainly negative. Her accent changing, which for me, I will show you clips of this. I thought her accent sounded a lot like Shylily, honestly, and especially seeing she's from the UK, not German. And she goes into the clip saying she visits Germany 5 times a year with her family. Well, she used to when she was a kid, and that's why her accent is scuffed. But there is clips of her in her version 1 with a completely different accent. You can determine what you think from this, but for me, from watching these clips, her accent drops a lot, especially when she goes higher or she's reading something, her accent completely disappears. And to me, that kind of sounds like she's either playing it up or she's putting it on. Especially seeing you can kind of tell she's from the UK when the accent drops. And to this, a lot of German artists and German people pointed out she sounded like she was putting on a fake German accent. So we're going to go over the clips where it talks about her accents.
Where is your accent? What is your accent? Where from? I'm from UK, but a lot of my family, I have family from like all over the world. I spent quite a lot of my childhood like in places like Spain, Germany, America. So I've sort of got like a really fucking weird accent.
So over there is her talking about how she got, in her words, how she got the accent. She also goes over this on Alaria's interview. But the comparison here is down here. Her original voice to her new voice.
This fish is like just stuck there now. You guys are stuck. I can't get you guys to move. What the fuck? I don't want to leave. But I do. Oh, well, good night. You should definitely go to sleep, because if it's late for you, sleep is important. Bro, why is this fucking fish stuck there? Oh my gosh. It's just there in the corner. Okay, we can pretend it's not there, okay?
And then to her new voice.
Hello! I heard you like VTubers, and if you haven't noticed yet, I happen to be one. Now, I have the solution to all of the problems in your life right here in my bio. Click the link and like, retweet, and watches you suddenly become happy again as you help reveal my new model. Yippee! Debuted live on Twitch July 15th, 6 p.m. CEST. Be there or I will revoke your happiness privileges.
Barbecue bacon burger.
Okay, at first I was like, oh, maybe it was just like played up a bit. You can really see how drastic when you hear them next to each other, how completely drastic the accent changes, especially when it drops in further clicks. When we watch the Ilaria interview, I feel like you really hear when it drops her accent. But you could put a little bit too that she's soft, like, or she's a bit more shy, or she was downplaying her accent. But this is a humongous shift, in my opinion, accent-wise. And I personally don't think visiting a country 5 times, especially seeing, she mentioned she has lots of different relatives in Spain and everything, but the only accent she's picked up is German. Like, even 5 times a year, honestly, I don't think that's enough to scuff up your accent. A lot of people stay in countries for years and years and years, and their accent doesn't change. Even though people say my accent's a little bit weird for an Australian, mainly because I've spent a decade gremlining because I have an immune deficiency disorder inside, and just from watching too much TV and hearing people, my accent is softer, but you can still tell I'm Australian. It's just softer and a little bit odd. That's the general when you have a weird accent from, not interacting with your actual brethren in your country. It can get a little weird, but I don't think you completely shift your entire accent to a different countries unless you are living there for a long time. Her accent changing, which seems to drop whenever she reads anything or yells from what I've heard, as Lola is from the UK but has a German accent now in her videos, which she didn't have originally. Some Germans pointed how fake it sounds. This is in case I missed it. After this, the accent accusations, or around the same time, she was getting tons of free designs made for her change up her look to some more original. So some artists were trying to help us, give us some different designs and pointing out how she can change her outfits. This is not one of them. This is just something further down. To all these free designs, some people was pointing out her design was so close it could be a color swap. And this was someone just color swapping her outfit into all the redesigns. So this is exactly her outfit. They've just changed it to Shylily's colors. So it is very similar to Shylily's if you just change the colors around. It just seems like some proportions have been warped. And pointing out if this level of referencing was used directly from an artist and not from a VTuber, people would be taking it more as stealing or tracing and would not be helping her, as in other VTubers in the past that has taken designs from artists have been completely crucified for doing so. In the end, Shylily does own the concept and artwork. If it's traced, that is bad. An artist's work did go into making Shylily's model. Should their art be completely taken for someone else's without even being mentioned or referenced? It bring up a completely different debate that people looking at this just slightly different, even though 2 months ago someone was cancelled for taking reference from an artist's piece of work. The main difference being that his DMs were revealed that he had been rejected from using that piece of work in reference to his model. What I'm interested to see is what Lola's messages to her artists were actually about. Because even in the interview, as we go down further, she does not show much. So at this stage of the drama and the controversy where things are starting to turn negative for Lola, she agrees to an interview with Ilaria. I'm not sure if this was already agreed upon before it went negative, but this is when it happens. Some points here. Some people said Ilaria was too soft on her, but in my opinion, it's an interview, not an inquisition. When you interview someone, it's important to stay respectful and not attack the person you asked on. So I think Ilaria tried her best to not be biased, but accidentally did guide her answers. She's not like an interviewer. She's not a debater. She tried her best there. I do think when you interview someone, you have to try and not guide their answers because you want to get their honest response. So let's go into the clips here.
About Shylily. So did you want to tell what you told me, which is a huge surprise?
Never interacted with one of Shylily's streams before. I've never joined in on one. I have never seen a clip. I think I might have saw one on TikTok a while back of her. I think she has a new model now, yeah. So I saw one quite a year ago, maybe even. But it's I don't know her like some people think I do. I think she has a beautiful design, and I, of course, as you guys can obviously see, I took inspiration from that.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So we have here that she's claiming to never have watched one of her streams and not watched her clips, or not many of them clips. This is contradicted slightly later on, and she does admit that she took a lot of information from Shylily, but I find it hard to believe, other than maybe she just followed all of her top hits, because she mentions later she has seen a lot of her stuff because she's famous, which kind of contradicts this statement of I haven't seen her stream, unless she's holding on to the fact that she's only not watched her stream, but has heavily seen her other content. Because it is quite obvious she's seen a lot of Shylily's content, to the point of almost obsession, I would say, with the similarities between everything. So this was a point that a lot of people doubled down on later, that she kind of contradicts herself. Next clip. Shylily's similarities.
Honestly, yeah.
From model 1.0 to 2.0, the similarities kind of increase. So, what do you have to say to that?
Hello.
Honestly, yeah, I see a lot of similarities as well. And I think it's okay to have similarities. I think what's not okay is the amount of similarities we have. I think I didn't really look into properly how many we have and be like, oh, this could be controversial. I think I was just like, oh, I look pretty, she looks pretty, I'm happy.
Right, exactly. I completely get what you're saying. And
okay, so she's going over the similarities here and how people said that instead of going from less like Shylily after 1.0 to 2.0, she ended up looking more like Shylily, even though she's gone through this controversy before. And she says it's okay and she didn't realize the similarities. But my thought here is, after being called a Shylily clone constantly, you think you would be more careful about it, because she's had opportunities to learn and to change, but she ends up looking more and more and acting more and more like Shylily every time this comes up. So how long does the I'm ignorant to what happened kind of stands? How long does it keep going for? I find it kind of unbelievable that she didn't realize the similarities, especially with the level of referencing to Lily she would have had to do to get these similarities. Because yeah, some things are just generally popular, especially with sea creatures, but there is so many, from logo to voice to outfits, and then how her outfits just continuously look more like Shylily, that you have to go, this is going past coincidence at this point. Next one, her accent, her comments on her accent.
Talking to you, I think you just sound very similar to, like you have that almost kind of like German, a little bit of that accent.
Yeah.
But again, like, please feel free to address the allegation.
Right, this person was actually a former friend of mine.
Gotcha.
So seeing it in the first place was very much flabbergasting. It flabbered my gasters, and I was very confused.
Flabbered my gasters.
It flabbered my gasters, and I was like, oh, okay.
My gasters.
I have, anyways, I can see why people are saying maybe it's faked, because yeah, I am not from Germany. I just have a really funky accent.
Right, right.
I don't speak German, by the way, sorry, I just saw a message in the chat.
Listening to you talk, for seeing in a chat just kind
So
of...
this goes into the comments about the clip I showed you of her voices being compared. She's saying it is just her accent, and later on she downplays it, saying she was downplaying it before, but this is her real accent. And she says this person is a former friend. I don't know if that is true, but either way, I don't think that changes much, other than it would be good to know the context of why they are no longer friends. But I don't think it really answers much about it, because I think it's a bit of a stretch taking on an entire accent from just visiting a place, but I don't know everything, obviously. But let's continue. Accents too.
Oh,
But you
yes.
visit Germany regularly, right?
In my childhood, I used to go there like more than probably 5 times a year, and I have cousins from there who I talk to like on call and stuff, like daily, or often enough to have not, I don't know what the word is, just taken in that kind of accent. And it's not like it's something on purpose, it's just it happens. Throughout the years, I've been around so many people with accents that I've just taken it in. I have family members from fucking Spain, America, Scotland, England, Ireland, Germany, literally everywhere, bro. So I've just taken in that accent from the places I've been the most. the UK, obviously, since I live there, and
Gotcha.
Germany.
So this goes into her that she's actually from the UK, and she says she's visited Germany 5 times, and she talks to her cousins from Germany, and that's why her accent is scuffed towards German. But you mentioned she has cousins from all over the place. We don't hear any of that accent in there. But for some reason, she still sounds almost exactly like Shylily. My point onto this, it takes a long time to get an accent, or to lose an accent, as a lot of people know. I have a friend that is Finnish, and has a Finnish accent. I've talked to them to almost every day or every second day for 4 years. And do I sound Finnish? No, because that's not really how it works. It kind of scuffs up your accent. I would believe if she had a little bit of a weird UK accent, but when she talks, it's all Shylily. It's all a German speaker trying to speak English. It seems rather off to me, because the reason why you have an accent like that is because you're transferring from German to English, so a bit of the way you speak in German stays. So I find it unbelievable that from such a little amount of time with another person, she would pick up a whole different accent, especially seeing she's in the UK. She speaks to English people every single day. I don't particularly buy this, especially from the giant jump in her accent to, from what I hear, her accent dropping a lot in a lot of her clips, especially when she's reading something. Accent 3.
Oh, you're just faking it, but no, and they're like, you can't have an accent if you're not from somewhere, but that is completely false. Like, I know tons of people from many places, and I have talked to them often enough to take in the accents. It's a normal thing. It happens a lot to have a strange accent. It's not like saying like just I have it. It's something a lot of people have.
Thing there when people point out that, because Merriweather has pointed that out too, is your accent gets scuffed. You don't take on another person's entire accent, because as she points out, she speaks to different nationalities. Why is it that her accent is only a fake German then? Wouldn't she have a weirder accent that you can't pick up on? Because a lot of people can't even place sometimes where my accent is from, because it's not super high Australian all the time. And they're like, are you Australian? Are you British? But it's not like I take on an entire accent because my accent is scuffed. Or a lot of people, or even Merriweather, people can tell he's from Denmark. It just sounds off. A little off. Next up, catchphrase swamp swamp.
Swamp swamp.
Yes, wait.
Of course, people are comparing it to
Evertuber
womp
says,
womp.
Yes,
Hatred, they
that-
get 500 bits.
3 blanks in a row.
Wait, it's
Are
like
you even trying
swamp
to
swamp
contribute?
is just
Your
swim,
silence speaks
but with an O.
volumes.
I wasn't trying to be creative or be a Shylily or make it a catchphrase. I just posted a photo of a dolphin swimming and captioned it "swam," and then it kind of just slowly became a thing. And I think it's
Gotcha.
super cute. I have it on my necklace because I think it's a really cute thing that's it's stuck with me, and I think that's beautiful. But obviously it's not like a catchphrase. It's just something that happens, and I'm not gonna be on stream and be like, oh my god, SpongeBob, it's just something that happened, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay, I haven't seen a clip of her using it on stream, but it seems that she uses this regularly enough for Swamp Swamp on Twitter, at least. And it's obviously a blatant attempt to sound like Shylily. Having a catchphrase isn't such a terrible thing. It's quite very similar. And again, it's not one thing. When you combine this with all the other things, it looks very suspect. To the next one. Similarities.
That is something a lot of people have been bringing up. I don't want to say exactly what I'm getting, because obviously that kind of takes away from the surprise of it. But
Right,
I am
absolutely.
changing my design. I am adding things. I am removing things. I'm trying to become as unique as possible without removing the things that make me me and make me happy.
Gotcha. And that certainly makes sense.
Okay.
I might have these in the wrong order, but that was about her. She has committed to changing her similarities, but she said that in every single debut update so far. That she will try and look less like Shylily, and hasn't really happened. Into if she had seen Shylily doing Womp Womp. This is Womp Womp.
Gotcha. So, are you familiar? You're familiar with the Womp Womp, right? Like you've heard it before.
Of course, yeah. I see her posts on my Twitter, which is I see a lot of people being like, you've never seen a video or whatever. I have seen videos. I've just seen like not a huge amount. I don't follow her anywhere because, well, I think I was following her before, but then when I got like cancelled, I was like, oh, I'm kind of scared of her now, which is not very smart. But
Gotcha.
yeah.
So just to clarify, you said like you've seen pictures, you've seen clips, but you don't actively like go and watch her streams. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I've seen pictures.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say I haven't. That would be insane. She's too famous to not know. But I've never like seen a proper video of her or anything like that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so here she kind of contradicts a little bit that she has seen quite a lot of her stuff, just not her stream compared to what she said earlier, which I think is quite a bit of a contradiction because it's trying to make her sound like she doesn't know enough about Shylily to copy. You can take this any way you want if it's enough of a contradiction for you. Honestly, I feel like it is contradicting herself a bit.
What you said is really correct. I do think that there's a certain point where it's good to ignore stuff because, trust me, hate is going to come your way. Whatever you do, sweetheart, it happens. I do think that blocking people that are giving you criticism maybe is always the best way to go about it. Because it's going to frame you in a bad light, right? But I'm glad
I think I was just like going through my comments. And I was like, oh my god, I'll just block everyone who's being relatively mean because I'm so tired of it. But that was definitely the wrong way to go, and I can see that now.
Lola is Lola and Lily is Lily. I saw a few streams.
I would say from my perspective on this, some of the things she was blocking for was rather mild. I do think Lola is very soft-skinned. It's like the opposite of thick-skinned, where she doesn't seem to take much criticism. Well, she doesn't take much criticism well. And I do think her pointing out the comparison all the time when she gets a bit of criticism just brings more criticism her way, which she is not built to deal with. So that's why I think she needs to shy away more from Shylily, because she doesn't really take it well and doesn't know how to handle it. But all people can do is keep giving her that advice, and if she keeps not taking it, there's not much anyone can do. This one is about the logo.
And how do you feel about this, like being like how do you feel about the similarities about this, like?
I don't like. I think they are ultimately quite similar, but most logos are like, you know, they follow the same kind of design. One thing I did take inspiration from her is the little tail that, you know, comes out on the Y. I wanted to incorporate that into mine because I thought it was literally adorable. I fucking love it.
I know you love the tail, and you said that. I gotta be real. I kind of see why some people are saying that, but also like it's not exactly a copy. I think that this one, logos need to have a bit of their own like standout identity, but I think this one's maybe a little bit too nitpicky. I do get where you're coming.
What I will say about the logo, because it's a bit more nitpicky than the others, but I would agree that some commenters pointed out she has exactly two tails here. You can like the tail, but two tails exactly. There is a lot of similarities. There is some differences too, but I wouldn't say all logos are the same. And also the balance of where things are very similar to Shylily's.
What is like one message if you had for everybody to hear?
Oh, yeah. This is the Lola's final words. It's in 2 parts, I think.
What would you tell everybody?
I would probably just say, you know, I understand we have a lot of similarities, and I do genuinely apologize for that. I want to fix it, and I want to be more unique, and I'm super open to any, you know, recommendations or anything any people have. You can, I don't know, I'll maybe turn my DMs on again soon, but, you know, if there's anything crazy hateful, I will be, you know, switching them off again.
And again, you don't deserve death threats over this, right? Like even if you disagree, they do not deserve death threats over this, right? So
I think that I'm super open to any like ideas anyone has, and you know, I just want to be happy. I just want to have a chill, safe community.
These coincidences and stuff, and that you're taking it.
Okay, so one, it points out here that she will take on change, but this has happened like going on 3 times and she hasn't changed, so that's something to take in consideration here. But as someone points out in this clip, her accent drops, as I was pointing out.
genuinely apologize for that. I want to fix it and I want to be more unique, and I'm super open to any, recommendations or anything any people have. You can, I don't know, I'll maybe turn my DMs on again soon, but if there's anything crazy hateful, I will be, switching them off again.
As you can kind of see, as she gets a bit more emotional here, her accent completely drops.
No, and
really
again, you don't deserve death threats over this, right? Like even if you disagree, they do not deserve.
The voice switch though. Yeah, when she's emotional or she's not like taking a breath beforehand, her accent does change quite a lot. It may just be very light for me, but I can't not hear it once it was pointed out, and once I like watched a lot of her clips, I could really hear when her like lispy German accent just completely drops. Onto some proof part. This is an add-on part here.
And again, I feel like it's a little pushy to ask for that kind of stuff, chat. But if you're comfortable with it, I'll ask, and you can say no. You're 100% okay to say no if you don't want to. Would you be okay sharing maybe one of those death threats? Kind of like a verification. If not, that's okay. I completely understand.
I don't have like screenshots or anything. When I get messages like that, I usually report, block, and then obviously I switch my DMs off. So there's that too. But if I ever do get another one, I would be more than happy to obviously send screenshots.
Thank you for answering the question. So, yeah, yes, I know that she could still see those, but obviously she's not comfortable with it, chat. So, leave it be. So, so all in all, I think that
I personally think here is if you're going to make an accusation that something's happening, you should be willing to show proof. I feel like the easy solution to this is to show the DMs to the artist and to show that she wasn't on purposely trying to rip off Shylily. That is so easy here, in my opinion. But yeah, it may be a little bit invasive, but I think that is the quickest way to actually resolve this. But I don't know. So you can let me know before if she should have just like showed that what her artistic process was, because obviously she can still get into her DM. She can still see people that message her, especially seeing she was claiming death threats before these even happened and took some screenshots of someone DMing her. So why is she now claiming up at the thought of showing them, even though she posted them on Twitter before this blew up? I don't know. But that is the entire interview there. Okay, so I just wanted to put my final thoughts on the interview process before we go on to Shylily's statement about this. This is when things went really negative for Lola, that most people don't believe what she's saying. She has now, after this interview, that is when she privated her account. And most people didn't seem to buy this, and she has lost, I think, 1,000 followers since then. I don't know if that has continued. Let's have a quick look. So at peak, she gained up to like 8,800. Now her account is gone, I guess. She may have deactivated it for now, but it has it down that it doesn't exist right now. So I'm not sure, but she was losing followers quite quickly after this interview. I do think that it's, first time accident, second time still need learning, but third time. And how she continuously makes comparisons between her and Shylily doesn't help her. She is the main person who keeps bringing this up and continuing this, and it seemed a little clout chasing. But would I say some things are nitpicky in here? Of course. And there's always room to change. But the problem is when you add all these things on top of each other, it doesn't make her look great. And her answers doesn't look fantastic when you put it together. And there's one thing being inspired by someone, but there's another thing practically tracing their model. It doesn't give you a good reputation in the community when you're just trying to copycat someone else and then you just kind of slam their community for harassing you for looking like her. And you keep bringing up all the time that people say you look like her, when you know you do look like her because you heavily referenced her. And that seems to be everyone's main problem with this, is that she flip-flops on how much Shylily inspired her. And she gets upset with the comparison between her and Shylily, even though she mentions she's heavily inspired by Shylily. Can you be upset that you are getting comparisons to another VTuber that you heavily use their artwork to make your model? I don't think you can really be upset about that. Shouldn't you take it as a compliment because you set out what you wanted to do? Except she doesn't want to be seen as Shylily. Or does she? We don't know, because she seems to have a gain. Up until this point, she has been gaining followers and people from this strategy. So in my opinion, I don't think her reasoning is good enough, and I think she really does need a change here if she hasn't deleted her Twitter, and stop the kind of clout chasiness, which is very setting a bad precedence, which we all know from Twitter. It happens all the time. People just make drama to clout chase here, and I do think it's kind of a bit annoying to constantly bring it up, and then Shylily herself gets dragged into it when she can't properly actually respond because she is a bigger VTuber. And no matter what she says, it will make her look bad. Especially and then clam up when people ask for proof. It's a little odd. Though I can say maybe it's all coincidence, but honestly, these many similarities, I honestly doubt it. Now, going on to Shylily's response to this, because she did get sadly dragged into this at the end there, where she made a very vague statement to the fact. People were waiting for me to say the wrong thing. I say out of drama for more reason than just I have better things to do with myself. This is a good stance to have when you're this big, because you could accidentally trigger so many things that you don't want, so sometimes it is better just to stay out of it. Other reasons include that at some point you can never say the right thing. What I'm expected to address, since people won't leave me alone about it and even bother my management and message in Twitch chat, I guess I'm sadly forced to say at least something. If I speak up against something and reveal that I'm uncomfortable with it, I'm just a hater, big bad wolf. If I state that I'm fine with it, I disrespect artists who are working hard to practice and hone their skills over years and years, and many more years. Their love, passion, and technical skills and everything else they put into their work. I'll be responsible for setting a new standard that encourages stealing, copying, and plagiarizing as okay to do. I'm not the damn law. I'm sad that people have to drag my name into the drama and forcing me to say something. The amount of notifications I've been getting is insane to me. Furthermore, we don't condone harassment, never did, never will. The people who do are not Shylily fans. Stop treating this as if I'm or my community is anyhow involved. They're drama frogs. Let that be clear. All this effort is to stay out of it. Just for the people to put words in my mouth and slander my community. You do not speak for me. I have a great fan base that I absolutely love, and people who are familiar with me know that my fan base is drama-free. Anyway, have a nice day. I'm back to spending copious amounts of money on anime waifu PNGs in-game. Yes, and a completely fair statement, and more than she had to do. And that is kind of the problem here. Shylily, no matter what she says, will get in trouble. It's unfortunate, but that happens a lot when you're that big. I am honestly surprised she even posted, but that's the best she could possibly do. And she has said in the past, like, blatant copying is a little bit uncomfortable, depending how far it goes. And I think that's completely fair, especially when you pay thousands of dollars for commercial rights to artwork and someone just takes the entire design. Puts you in a bad position, because you either have to go through legally to stop them, which is big bad woofy, or you just have to accept it, which then allows and let other people think it's okay to steal anyone's artwork, which is also a problem. And that is the end of the saga so far. Other than deactivating of Lola's account, that seems to be the end of the saga so far. Let me know below what you think of this situation. I personally think Lola has pushed it a bit too far on her grace period of this as an accident, because that seems to be the biggest disagreement here is, was this an accident or was it not? I personally don't think it was an accident. I do think they at least were pushing towards copying Shylily. She's had a lot of opportunities to learn and to change things, and she doesn't seem to be taking that on board. Another point here that I think I forgot to mention is there has been accusations that Lola's fiance has been harassing people. I could not find information on that, but so I'll just put it out there that is some information going around too, that he was harassing people on her behalf. Take that as you will. But let me know what you think below in the comments, guys. Like and subscribe, ring that bell, and I'll see you next time. Sorry the video is so long, there was a lot of information here. I'll catch you next time.